It's Madden NFL 23, and today's clash of conferences is just moments away. It's the Vikes and the Silver and Black. All that and more coming up next.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Las Vegas, Nevada. Coming up, we've got a good matchup on tap between the Minnesota Vikings and the Las Vegas Raiders. Welcome in, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and Charles, so much gets made about offensive comparisons. Here's a matchup where the defenses may just take center stage.
Yeah, we're usually talking about guys scoring touchdowns. How about the guys who prevent them and change the momentum of the game when they take the ball away? I love those ball hawks in the secondary. People after my own heart.
And we are underway at Allegiant Stadium. This fielded right at the goal line. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. So here comes the Raiders offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by their quarterback standing at 6'2" from Eastern Illinois. It's Jimmy Garoppolo.
And Jimmy Garoppolo has shown that he can be a Super Bowl quarterback, but his biggest problem, his ability to stay healthy and remain on the field. When able, he's a capable quarterback prone to winning games both in the regular and postseason.
Let's go, boy. Let's go. Let's go.
Garoppolo, first play, going to throw it. And he finds Howard complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep moving from there because the confidence elevates.
Garoppolo's throw complete here, pulled in by Howard. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. 28 yards the gain there on the catch and run. And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we could at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
Yeah, and that's a run born out of ferociousness. He took on that initial contact and in his mind just screamed, "Out of my way," and kept right on going and wound up turning it into a big play.
And you can see the distance traveled there after the initial contact on the next-gen stats. There's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
I like the thought process there. They connected on a big play, and sometimes you find the defense vulnerable. So they went for the bigger shot, went for it all on that one. This time, they were ready for it.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. Looking to throw. Garoppolo. And he'll be brought down at the 27. Solid opening drive so far, Charles. They've moved this football into field goal range, but you know that they want to cap this off with 6 and not 3.
Absolutely. As one of the better coaches in the league always tells me, on offense, I want their body blows all game long and finish it with uppercuts. Well, here are the body blows right now. He's hoping in one uppercut will take care of the end of this drive.
On first down, Garoppolo. It's Myers again with another catch. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
A lot of precision being shown on this opening drive. They've been methodical, they've been crisp, and as a reward, they're going to be set up with an early first and goal.
A terrific opening drive has them knocking on the door, first and goal. Now Garoppolo. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Harrison Smith. And the Vikings are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. Charles, one thing that he referenced to us yesterday was his confidence fitting the ball into any window, but obviously that window was a little too tight, and it was closing in a hurry.
And he was talking to us about having anticipation in making those types of throws. Down near the goal line, I don't think you can anticipate it as much as you need to see it open. You've got to be precise with your throws down here in the red zone. That one goes into double coverage, and he gets picked off.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Now Cousins. He's going to get this one down to Cook. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
Dalvin Cook now catches on back-to-back plays. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 28. Give them 18 on the play. Really been an ideal start for them. They get the turnover on the opening possession. Now here they are moving the ball straight down the field on their first drive.
And that feels good, but you know on their side of the field, all they're thinking is finish this drive off because they took it away, right? So now you've got them back on their heels a little bit. Now go down, put a touchdown on them. Look out. You've won the mental battle early in the game, and that may carry over for you.
First down. Here's Cousins. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. Down inside the 10. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. The opening drive, it continues, Charles, to be all pass, and it's working. Now they're on the doorstep of a touchdown here, 1st and goal.
Brandon, because it's working so well, I think the entire playbook is open for them right now. Do you want to run it? Do you want to continue to throw it? Spin the dial, make your choice. But right now, you like what you're doing in this possession.
First and goal, a chance to convert that early turnover into points. To throw is Cousins. And it's incomplete. Jalen Reagor is the intended receiver. And it'll be second and goal.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, second and goal. Cousins gives way to Cook, and he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long third and goal. Defensively, I think they can smell a stop. Ball right around the 5 here brings up third.
And I think what they've done is they put doubt in the minds of the offensive guys. What do we do? Because now you don't have a go-to play. Either side they pick, throwing it, running it.
In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
Well, it's about how teams are so competitively matched, and you just want to make those plays that give you an advantage. How about right here? The difference between letting them score a touchdown versus holding them to a field goal, that's absolutely huge with the play he just made.
And you know he hated taking the loss there on third down. Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota. And this one will be a 29-yard attempt. The kick by Joseph is good, and the Vikings have a 3-0 lead. Well, it's not the touchdown that they wanted, CD, but still, they got to be pretty happy here. You steal the ball away from them on their opening possession, and you turn that into the early 3-0 lead.
Yeah, you painted the picture perfectly there, all the things that have gone on, and the important thing, other than the lead, of course, is as you described, both sides of the ball now have some momentum.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Amir Abdullah going to take it out of the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. Second drive of the game coming up for this Las Vegas offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
And he maneuvers up the middle for 3, and it's second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now some movement before the snap. And we'll hear from our referee for the first time this afternoon. Now they nabbed the rookie there for the 5-yard penalty.
So much going through his head. You know it just has to be, right? All of his assignments and realizing every game he plays, one of the better players in the league will be opposite him.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. Meanwhile, Garoppolo's throw pulled in by Renfro. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
And I think this is a route we'll see more of as this game goes on, because with his speed, they want to get him the ball in space on drag routes just like this. They want him to get the ball and run after the catch. Good job there, though, holding him for a short gain.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. He'll hit his running back, Amir Abdullah. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
I'm not sure that was necessarily a safety valve or a check down throw on third down. Sometimes just try and find the open guy and get him the ball. He did exactly that and found a way to pick up a first down.
Let's do our thing. Let's do our thing. Let's go. Yeah, go right now.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw is Garoppolo. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Oh, they'll certainly be on the tablets going over that one for sure. Clearly, they were expecting something else out of the defense and couldn't adjust to make that completion happen.
So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again. That one into the hands of Adams downfield. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 33. That's good for 28 yards.
That's how you shake up the interception and throw on the opening drive. Come back and throw another strike and gain nice yardage. And I give credit to two people on this one. The man throwing the ball and the person calling the plays. They're not shutting him down early in this game.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10, down at the 33. Garoppolo now. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Then their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. Caught on the right side by Adams. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage afterwards.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
Garoppolo looks to throw. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. That'll bring up 2nd and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. Garoppolo looks to throw once more. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I know every offense wants to start their snaps closer to the goal line, but it's actually harder to throw the ball in those situations. You throw into that tight coverage, you see what happens. Hard to get the ball in there.
Not enough space there. Lucky maybe that it wasn't intercepted. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Throwing now is Garoppolo. Touchdown! O.J. Howard from 3 yards out. And the Raiders are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Bouncing back nicely from that bad opening drive where he threw the interception. Drive number 2 leads him right down the field and into the end zone.
So obviously his confidence was never lost, and that's a good thing to see. Great quality to have. You absolutely must maintain that as a quarterback. But I have to think that they're probably still on the script that they prepared for this game. Just the second drive. They've worked on these plays all week in practice. Put them to good use on that one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback. The Vikings taking the field here for their second drive of the game. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. They start the drive with Cook. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Throwing, Cousins. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack. Max Crosby, credit him with a sack, and it goes as a loss of 6.
Well, obviously the pass rush gets the glory and the statistics on this play, but the coverage, they deserve a ton of credit too. Denied open windows, erased the quarterback's targets one by one. Everywhere he looked, someone was covered. Only a matter of time before someone got there to bring him down.
Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Right side, it's the tight end, Hockenson. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Cousins. That'll be complete to Cook. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it could turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
Second down at 6 now from the 42. Cook up the gut. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 7 yards there and a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Two first downs have them up near midfield now on 1st and 10. They run again on first down. Cook. And he's fortunate to get anything from that. Give him a yard up to the 49.
Well, they didn't get a whole lot out of that one, but I think you got to continue to try and run and try and keep the defense honest.
You mean, or else they'll just sit back, dare you to throw it on every down?
Yeah, you get your quarterback hit a lot that way, too.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Cook again. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Now play number 8 on this drive, and they need 9 yards to pick up the first on 3rd. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete, certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up 4th down. The 3rd down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field.
Good drive last time. Really effective passing the football. Do you maybe mix it up, now go to the ground game and surprise the defense a little bit?
I would anticipate the defense making some changes, but I wouldn't necessarily just absolutely go in the opposite direction. They're doing so well throwing the ball.
Yeah, why
I wouldn't change it up until they showed me a reason to do so.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw, it's Garoppolo. And that is incomplete here.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Open man is Myers. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
After 1, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter from Vegas, the homestanding Raiders with a football here. This offense so far on 3rd down, a perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he is going to have the Raiders first down as they're able to convert on 3rd and short yardage with a gain of 4. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. And hold on here, because on that last run, it looks like we have a player who was shaken up. We'll take a break and get a report from Vegas after this. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Garoppolo. He's going to find and complete it to Renfrow. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Team runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
On 1st down, they go with Jacobs again. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
They've created a nice sustained drive off of plays like that. A nice strong run there that keeps them advancing the ball.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. This offense has converted 2 third downs on this drive already. This is 3rd and 4. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Throw right side, caught by O.J. Howard. And this will not be enough. On 3rd and 5, he only gets 3.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender. But a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They go with Jacobs. Now a loose football. The ball comes out. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. So this offense able to convert on 4th, and now a fresh set of downs here, 1st and 10. Now Garoppolo. The open man here, Renfro. And he's going to get this down near the 25. They fake the give. Now Garoppolo looks to throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. DJ Wanham got off his spot quickly and got to the quarterback.
They've gobbled up over 30 yards of turf so far, but a sack knocks them backwards, and that interrupts the momentum they were building. Good opportunity for the defense to escape this drive before they get to the end zone.
So the sack of Garoppolo, and now what can they come up with on 3rd and long? They'll drop to throw. That one thrown away from the pocket. The officials kind of looking at each other, but they'll say there was a receiver in the area, so no penalty, just an incomplete pass. So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This from 54 yards away. The kick by Carlson is good. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Taken at the goal line. Well, now how about this return? A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. The Vikings ready to go again on offense. Just a lone field goal for them so far, trailing 10-3 as they come up 1st and 10. Here's Cousins. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. And with a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they were unsuccessful.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Cousins to throw it. Out to the left there and complete to the tight end, Hockenson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. That'll put him at an even 50 receiving yards now in this first half. And it's a first down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch? And then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the first down.
Cousins now to throw on first down. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Now that's the type of play that gives you a chance to win. Nothing forced downfield where you don't have a guy open. Swing it out to the back, and maybe even check it down, whatever you want to call it. Gain of 5. You're just trying to get 4 on first down. They're ahead of the chains now.
Cousins again. Finding Hockenson here on the out route. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 37. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. To throw is Cousins. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down.
Nice progress down the field was halted by that incompletion. They could try for some 6 yards here to get things moving again, or keep throwing it and pushing it downfield to try and pick up bigger yardage.
On 2nd down, Cook. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards there, first down Vikings.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
Following the good run by Cook, here's another 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Cousins. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they're trying to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Cousins. Swinging this out wide here for Cook. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. The Vikings on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook.
And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15.
We ought to come up with a T-shirt and sell it that says, no indecision on 3rd and 1. And we didn't see it on that run, did we? Got his shoulders square, just got right into the line of scrimmage and picked it up.
Absolutely. Picked his lane, went with it, and converted.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Well, they'll run it here on the jet sweep. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Ball sits on the 10, 2nd and 5.
Up the middle, it's Cook. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
3rd and short yardage. Cousins. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Bad place to fumble down here in the red zone. At least they got it. They'll have another shot. Or no, they won't have another shot. It's going to be 4th down. Maybe they can at least salvage 3.
And they were thinking 6 points because at this position of the field, it's go time, right? You take your shots at the end zone. They weren't able to do that one, so you look over at the sideline, there's the head coach saying, oh, heck, kick it, field goal time.
Fourth down, field goal try coming, so Cousins is off, and on comes Greg Joseph from Minnesota.
Joseph's got it, and that'll bring him back within 4.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Joseph now to kick this one away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go.
And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs.
And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Garoppolo. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's 3rd down.
Not sure what happened there, but he just didn't get the right read on the coverage that time. Pass wasn't where it needed to be, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Garoppolo looks to throw. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack.
Marcus Davenport coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings him fourth. It seemed like he kept going through those progressions, and I thought he might dump that underneath, but he couldn't get rid of the football in time.
And I have to wonder if he was thinking while he was back there, I wish there were a lot less progressions on this play, just someone that I could dump the ball to and get it out of my hands.
On fourth down, A.J. Cole comes on to punt.
And a fair catch taken back near about the 35, 36-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday to press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
The throw over the middle taken in. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the first down. On 3rd and 1, here's Cousins. He'll get this complete to Jalen Reagor. And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
That's a big conversion there on 3rd down because they did not want to give the ball up here late in the half. They'd love to take the clock all the way down and score. This will definitely help the cause.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Cousins to Jefferson on the slant.
And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule.
From the 40 now on second down, Cousins. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage, and that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. They'll throw again. Cousins. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another first down.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Cousins setting up the screen for Cook. And he's down into the red zone at the 15 after a gain of 15. 1st and 10.
To the air again, it's Cousins. And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They get 6. That'll leave them with 3rd and 4.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him.
And he's going to go down. Sacked right around the 17. The Vikings going to use their 3rd and final timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. So they won't get a touchdown, but here's a chance to at least get 3 to end the first half. From the left hash, this from 34. The kick by Joseph is good, and that gets him back within a single point. It's now 10-9. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Abdullah from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. The Las Vegas offense ready to start this next drive. And with 7 seconds remaining, not much time to really do anything.
And he'll just push his way forward for a few as the clock will run.
So we have reached halftime here in Vegas with the Raiders on top.
As we send you to our EA studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. Back to you guys in a bit. But first, we welcome everyone to our EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And despite the fact that they're down on the scoreboard, they were able to have some success throwing the football in that opening half. Meanwhile, for the Raiders, they too were able to take advantage of a soft secondary, as both of these two teams really threw the ball at will in that first half.
All right, Coach, thanks. Yeah, both teams likely to make some changes in what's been a closely fought battle to this point.
The Vikings set to receive the second half kickoff, and they trail it here as we resume play.
No run back here to begin the half, and we will start at the 25-yard line.
Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third.
This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now.
And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. They run it again with Cook. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end.
A dime look defensively for the Raiders on 3rd down.
Yeah, you're right. 2 extra DBs out there. Throwing, Cousins. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th.
Well, this is just a continuation of what we saw in the first half. So much for the fresh start to begin the 3rd quarter. Still off-target throws, no rhythm throwing the football, and obviously no touchdown scored in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. The return is Renfro. And 9 yards there on the return following a punt of 47. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. And the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion force there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
Looking deep for Adams. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big pickup of 38. I guess that answers the question of whether or not they're going to try to play conservative and protect this lead in the 3rd quarter.
And I think this is something we're seeing more and more of in the NFL. Teams not playing to protect leads, teams playing to extend them.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. On play action, it's Garoppolo. And that throw behind his man, he missed him, incomplete.
You tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Up the middle, Abdullah. And this defense not ready for that one as he'll take this down inside the 25. That one will go as a gain of 11. Raiders having a first down as well.
Well, they've certainly been successful throwing it around in this game, and that's allowed them to move the ball on offense. But I've got to tell you, to watch them run the football and successfully, I'm not taking sides, but to see the ball in a running back's hands, oh, that's football for me.
On first down, Garoppolo to the sideline, and that is a heck of a catch as he was able to get both feet in. It'll be a gain of 16 for number 16.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage one play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
Looking to throw. Garoppolo. Oh, hit as he throws there. Incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Working from the gun, Garoppolo. Buying time to his left. And he's just going to throw this one out of bounds here. Nowhere to go with it. Incomplete.
Well, it's been a tough go for them. These guys have been driving down the field, but defensively, once they got their backs to the goal line, turned up the pressure, that's going to lead to a 4th down. Well played.
On 4th down, here's Daniel Carlson for the Raider field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Carlson able to put this one through. And the lead grows to 4. It's 13-9. Well, in a close game like this, obviously you want the touchdown, but certainly they will take the 3.
And they'll be okay with that, but let's throw a little credit to the defense as well. I'm just glad this doesn't come down to a debate, right? Which side won, partner? Because the defense, hey, we didn't give up a touchdown. The offense, hey, we put 3 on the board. Either way you look at it, I think both sides gained something out of that drive.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. Fielded just outside the goal line. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line. Try to fire up that running game with Dalvin Cook. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
From the 38, Cousins. This one caught. It's the tight end, Hockenson. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver. Although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Oh, what a juke into space. And a very determined run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 27. Good effort. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last 2 plays.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Open man, he's got him, the tight end, Hockenson. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Looking to throw again on second down. Cousins. Justin Jefferson bringing in the slant. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. Cousins in step with Jefferson that time. First down, Vikings.
I love the drive they're working on here because they know they can take the lead with a touchdown. And so far on this drive, so good. They've moved the ball down the field with very little resistance defensively. But they better be prepared for some adjustments to come their way now.
Now Cousins. And this one right back into the hands of Jefferson. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
In so many ways, throwing the hitch route is actually one of the safer things an offense can do. Get the ball out to the receiver as fast as possible, hope he's got man-to-man coverage, and hope that his athleticism wins on the perimeter.
Second and goal from the 1. Cousins to throw it. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A 1-yard touchdown pass. And the Vikings have taken the lead here in this third quarter. Well, that's just how they drew it up, CD. His first read was there, got it to him quickly, and into the end zone.
Absolutely excellent execution by all involved. And the coordinator, gotta give him credit, found the perfect play call. Quarterback let it fly as soon as the target came free, and his guy made a nice catch. Just how you draw it up in practice and then execute it in the game.
Joseph connects on the extra point, and that gives him a 3-point lead. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Abdullah's going to stay put, and the drive will start at the 25. And now this offense comes back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Here's Garoppolo on 1st and 10. He's going to find and complete it to Renfro. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
On play action, now Garoppolo. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
That's a great job of working the sideline right there. I love how he tracked the football the whole way. Just reached up and pulled it in. Had excellent field presence to understand where he was in order to make that play happen.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Here's Garoppolo to throw. Oh, it's tipped, but he still makes the adjustment. And he'll be marked down at about the 26-yard line.
But when we see the ball tipped in the air, sometimes we get a little roll change, don't we? Because when it's in the air, sometimes the defensive back becomes the receiver. And in this case, the receiver looked like a defensive back, but ended up a receiver.
He caught it as a receiver. Hey, it worked out.
Worked out really well for them. But I'm telling you, the defensive guys,
Frustrated.
oh, frustrated. They're going to catch it in film.
Play action. Garoppolo. Completing it to the right side. Johnson. And they're going to get this down inside the 20.
Well, this has certainly been a nice drive with the way they've spread the football around. Here, they even get the fullback involved in the passing game. That's got to cause a lot of consternation on the defensive side. You've got to cover him, too. That makes things really difficult.
Garoppolo looks to throw once more. On the out route, this is Adams with a catch. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. And they just keep marching right along. First down on a pickup of 8 there. Garoppolo now. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Marcus Davenport able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now second down and 22 yards to go. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. And they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be third down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
A long way to go here on third down for the 8th play of the drive. Looking to throw, Garoppolo. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Dean Lowry with a big-time sack on third down. It's a loss of 7.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. This one from 46 yards out. The kick by Carlson is good, and we are all tied at 16 apiece. That's another field goal, his third of the game. Maybe not exactly what you're looking for, but it does bring him level now.
I like how you put that in there that brings him level, right? Because if you're talking about kicking, bringing that soccer analogy in, I love that one. I love that one a lot. You don't want to go for it on fourth down and come away with nothing, right? Go ahead and kick the ball. Make sure you get some points. Even if it's a safe call, I think it's the right call.
So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes Kirk Cousins now to lead his offense back out there. 5 for 5 that last drive. Touchdown pass as well. He was clicking. Receivers, I don't want to be cliche, but running really solid routes too.
And what I love about it is when you look across any team, all right, the body types of the receivers are usually different. The way that they get open, different as well. Some of them use power to get open. Some of them use those head fakes and subtle moves. Some of them just use pure speed. And the really good ones, when they're established, they know how to push off at the end of a route too.
The completion, but they go in the wrong direction. A loss of yards, and now they're dealing with a 2nd and long. Cousins now. Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson. And he will lose yardage on the play, back at his own 19-yard line. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
Made the quick throw there outside the numbers, and you can feel the thought process. They just wanted to get in his hands and let him make a play. But how about the job they did defensively to keep him bottled up? Instead, they tackle him for a loss.
And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. Throwing is Cousins. And this is Cook with a grab. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. That'll bring up 4th down. They wind up getting 8 yards, but they needed more than that.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And here's Ryan Wright now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it'll be Raiders football, 1st and 10. The Raiders have the ball back, and here comes Devontae Adams to the field again. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this, but it's usually not by himself, is it?
Right.
Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
They start the drive with Abdullah to about the 33-yard line.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
And the Vikings are going to beef up their secondary here. 6 DBs on 3rd. To throw is Garoppolo. Renfro bringing it in over the middle. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
The slot position has become the bane of just about every defense's existence because how do you cover? Do you go with a bigger guy to try and use size? You got to try to go with a quicker guy, and sometimes you even get out quick there. Very difficult to match up with that slot receiver. That's why they keep going back to him.
And he's had the hot hand. Garoppolo now, 1st down throw. This is screen to Abdullah. And some room to maneuver. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 3 quarters have come and gone. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Las Vegas. Welcome back, everybody. These two teams all tied up 16 apiece as we start the fourth quarter.
It's one play at a time, baby.
From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 at the 46. Now Garoppolo. The open man here, Renfro. And they're going to get this down near the 35-yard line.
Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Throwing now is Garoppolo.
They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And they'll work this down inside the 30.
I know it was a gain, but you have to sense probably a little bit of disappointment there because when it's out there in open space, I think they expect to get more out of a play, don't you?
Especially when you're getting it to your guy out of the backfield. You're expecting him to be able to create something, be a little more shifty.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Good open field tackling held it to an okay game.
Garoppolo again. And this one taken in on the right sideline, but not in the field of play. They say it's incomplete. The throw led him a little too far. It brings up 3rd down.
Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
From the gun on 3rd, Garoppolo. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfro. And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 15-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
That's the 3rd time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going. And right now, it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's 1st and 10.
Jacobs going to try the middle. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
Ball on the 8. It's 2nd and 4.
To throw, it's Garoppolo. The quick slant caught. Touchdown Raiders. Davante Adams from 8 yards out.
And the Raiders have broken this deadlock and have taken the lead here in the 4th.
Carlson on for the PAT. And they will take a 7-point lead now. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive.
And Davante Adams able to finish things with a touchdown reception.
Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson.
Fields it right around the goal line. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
The Vikings offense now, they get ready to head back on the field.
They now trail by 7 after that last touchdown here in the fourth quarter. What a big spot for this offense. See if they can cobble something together on this drive. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 23. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, going for Jefferson downfield. He rifles one that's intercepted. So they tried to take the deep shot there, but this defense up to the task.
And a lot of times when you air a ball out like this, if it does get intercepted, there's going to be a lot of space out there to set up a return. And remember, you've got 5 big offensive linemen out there playing on their feet in open space. Not a skill most of them possess that allows for extra yardage on the return.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. Another important fourth quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
I like a guy who understands the situation. I also like a guy who you look at him and you say, that looks like a guy who knows the coach is going to say, guess what? You drop this one, you'll be carrying around a training facility for an entire week.
Maybe flashback to high school or college, carrying it around campus, right?
The old gauntlet drill, right? Anyone get the ball out while he's sitting in class and bring it back to the coach? He's in big trouble.
Now a dump off here complete. And they're going to get this down to about the 37. Well, clear running situation. Trying to take time off the clock. He ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they've shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they hit them over the top.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Garoppolo. Very quick throw. He's got Myers. And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomp down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Throwing on first is Garoppolo. Renfro coming through for yet another reception. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. And Daniil Hunter, he's the one who gets in there and brings him down to the ground.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down. Another try after the first down sack. Garoppolo. And just not enough on the throw there. Down around his feet and incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make third down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big third down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, 3rd and goal. It's complete. Abdullah. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. First down would have been nice, but now you get to kick the field goal, still go up 2 scores.
They tried to get it, though, didn't they? Threw the pass, got the completion just short of the first down. But you're exactly right. Run the field goal unit out there. Kick it. Put it through the post. Go up 2 scores.
So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This to make it a 2-score game. The kick by Carlson is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So that's, CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away. This taken in at the goal line. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Now this offense back out and set to go for their next drive. And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook. And he'll scratch out a yard up to the 30, and that's all.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
On 2nd and 9, Cousins eluding the pressure, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense, they just continue to feast. 5 sacks now as a unit. It's been quite an afternoon getting to the quarterback.
And we're seeing it come from a variety of places as well. Sometimes just the guys up front getting to him. Other times you add extra guys rushing the quarterback, twists and stunts. It's been a variety, and they've had no way of blocking them.
So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Back to throw. Setting up the screen for Cook. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there and take the hit and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game. You and I have called a good number of games over the course of our career where we've seen these types of situations. Teams get the ball back, and that miracle does occur. So they can't let that dream go just yet. They have to get stout on defense here.
Yeah, right now really hoping for a turnover.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20.
Here's Garoppolo to throw. And that's incomplete. Down here in the red zone, you know your tight end's going to be a favorite target. Couldn't hang on.
And sometimes they just have to get out of their own head because they understand how tight windows are there and how many bodies are there. And sometimes they just overthink it and don't catch the ball.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll take it from the 18 to the 15, a gain of 3. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on 3rd down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down. They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And they'll hustle up to stop him well shy of the 1st, right around the 15. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. From the left hash, just a 32-yard attempt. Carlson able to put this one through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So the starting field position was terrific following the surprising turnover on downs, but the end result, only 3 points.
Simply stated, I think you have to look at that as a missed opportunity.
After the made field goal, Carlson now sets up to kick this away.
Fielded just outside the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
And last time, went for it on 4th, didn't get it. We'll see if they can pick themselves up off the mat and do better this go-around.
Sometimes I have this vision of coaches writing notes to themselves before a game, and sometimes that note says, be aggressive, stay aggressive. Maybe that's what we saw in the last possession.
Yeah, they were very aggressive. This time, will it result in points? We'll find out. They start the drive with Cook. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30.
63 yards on the ground for him so far.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
Second down, they go right back to Cook.
And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at just 30%, 3 for 10. This is 3rd and 4. Here's Cousins. And that is incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Cousins to throw for it on 4th. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Osborne.
And he is going to pick up the Vikings' first down as they find a way to convert on 4th and 10.
Fourth quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the second touchdown. You got the first one for the second one to even matter.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. And not able to break away this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. Now Cousins.
This ball complete to Rager.
A gain of 8 there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports.
So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They face a 3rd down now as they try to find a late score. He's got a man, complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, dialing up that play call certainly meant that he grabbed a little extra shot of courage on that one because normally on 3rd and short, you're just trying to move the sticks, get the ball just past that line of scrimmage. Instead, they take the big shot downfield, and it pays off.
Cousins now to throw on 1st down. Over the middle, complete. It's Osborne. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
One of the feature points of the in route is being able to make a nice throw to the middle part of the field. And for a quarterback, that's one of the better throws and better looks that he'll get. But he has to be careful not to wait too long and let his receiver wander into some tough territory. If he's late with the ball, he can get his receiver hit and hit hard.
Cousins' throw pulled in by Jefferson. And he's going to be taken down right at the 10-yard line.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection. 1st down now, but that clock rolling. To the air again, it's Cousins.
Another one on this play for Justin Jefferson.
That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. The Vikings going to signal for their first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game.
Let's rock and roll. Let's have some fun. Let's do some fun. Let's go.
2nd down and 3.
Throwing, Cousins. And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know.
Doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
So with under 30 seconds to play, this is the game right here.
And it's the Raiders that'll come up with it. And that will put victory in sight for the silver and black. Well, fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we've brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. Now the Vikings will use the second of their timeouts as the clock stops with 23 seconds to go in the game.
That's right, baby. Play it to the...
The Raiders likely going to get out of this with a victory as they take a knee. Now the defense will burn their third and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break.
You know what we need, baby. Let's go, man. Come on, baby. Let's do it.
And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Down to a knee goes Garoppolo, and that ought to do it.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
What a ball game this was. What an atmosphere this was. And the home team getting the late touchdown, getting the victory, and now everybody in this building can file away with smiles on their faces.
And what do real estate people tell us all the time? It's location, location, location. So being at home, that can be a big deal because remember, they were down to their final chance to retake the lead. That home field advantage, I think it helped fuel all what happened for them down the stretch. A huge win.